Hi all, welcome to the workshop. We now have issues 77 and 78 of Eaglemoss's Build the Delorean. Here we have issues 77 and 78. I'm grouping these two together because 77 is such a small issue, it would be a 3-minute video. In issue 77 we have the rear wing, or rear panel. We have this little plastic insert, and we have some AP screws. And if I just open up the magazine, you can see all we're doing in this issue is just adding that little bit of plastic onto the wing, and that's it. So all we're going to be doing is popping that in there, grabbing our AP screws, holding that in place, and just securing it from the back. Just like that. So now we're going to move on to issue 78, where we'll put a lot more detail into that panel, and then we'll be adding it to the car. So in issue 78, we get another trim piece. We have all the trim for the side of the car, including this very small end piece. Which I'll pull out. We also have all of the flux band holders, another trim piece there, and all of these are marked all individually, so when it comes to putting them on the car, it's worth just checking that they're in the correct order. We also have plenty of AP screws. We have some LP screws, some IP screws, and some DM screws. So we'll just bring over the part from issue 77. And the first thing I was going to be doing is building up the trim along here. Now, all these are shaped, so they only go in one way, one position. So, long one there, medium one there, then we've got the light, and then we've got the smallest one at the end, just there. I can get that one. So it will look just like that. We're going to be securing all of these from the back with some AP screws, apart from the lens, which will be secured with IP screws. So they're all going to fall out when I do this. Prove me wrong. So I'm just going to start with this one, and I'll work my way along. So both of those are in with AP screws on the back. Now we're going to be moving on to the light lens, which will pop in just there, and that will be secured with 2 IP screws. And then finally, we're going to be getting this very small piece of trim, and we're going to be popping it in the final hole, just like that. And we're going to be securing that with also with an IP screw. And that's that stage complete. Next, we're going to be moving on to the flux bands. The first one we need is the one marked RL5. So we've got 1, that's RL5. I'm just going to put these in order. 2, 3, 4. So starting with RL5, just about to see that one. We're going to be placing it in these 2 holes down here. And the way we're going to be doing it is the lug is going to go into the one closest to the wheel, with the screw being secured with the one closest to the rear. And we're going to be using an AP screw to secure that in place. Just like that. Yeah. Moving on to the rest of the flux bands here, we're going to be going 4, 3, 2. So as we've got them here, 4, 3 and 2. So just double checking number 4. One slot's in there. Again, all these using AP screws to secure them. I'm going to be securing it just in there. And number 3. And number 2. So the side is now looking just like that. So we've just got the last one now, marked number 1, going into this trim panel, and we're going to be securing that from the back using an LP screw. and that goes in just like that. We're then going to be placing that just in there, and we're going to be securing that from the back with 2 AP screws. I'm just supporting this on my hand so we don't break off all the bits we've just put on. And that is looking like that now. So the next step, we're going to be adding it to the back of the car. So now we're going to be adding this to the back of the car. And we're just going to be lining that up with the holes in the main frame. And slotting that in, just like that. And then we'll be securing that with some DM screws. So we need to flip the car over for this. I want to always ensure that your doors are all taped shut at this point. I'm going to employ my paint pot just to hold the car steady in the front. So we're going to be securing this panel in place with 4 DM screws. We take that door shut. One here, one here, one here, and one here. Move that along a little bit. So again, going into metal. So a bit of oil. And we're just going to secure one. And the other one over here. Number 2. Number 3. And finally, number 4, just going in here. Now, the instructions don't actually tell you to do this, but I've actually put little bits of electrical tape on here just to hold these wires out of the way. I'm sure that's going to make it a lot easier when it comes to putting on this internal trim piece, but for the moment, while they were floating around, it was much easier just to stick a bit of tape on there. But for right now, that is this issue. Well, issues 77 and 78 complete. And so that is what the DeLorean is now looking like with all its panels in place. And that is looking absolutely lovely. I do have a few more issues for this, so those videos will be following shortly. Thank you very much for joining me in the workshop today. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. DeLorean is looking brilliant with all its panels on now. I've got a few more issues to do, so if you want to see more of how DeLorean progresses, remember to hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. I'll see you around.